note, la pump. What we're looking for is the economy, the efficiency. Notice this, I'm really pumping those strings. You really have to push down each quarter note. Can you see that? Can you see me pushing down? Because we don't want this. Even though I'm hoping at this stage, even if you're new to Gypsy Jazz, just from learning minor swing and Sweet Georgia Brown, those chord shapes that you can say, oh, I could follow this chart, A7, D minor 6. I wrote out 3-note shapes for Dark Eyes, but what I'm saying is, just with a very limited knowledge of chord shapes, you can play through most of these songs, the easy 3-note shapes, which I love, especially for kind of just more for speed, but also for bass line movement, which the shape would be this. I'm going to go through this maybe a little bit quickly, but again, refer back to those chord charts. A7, 5th fret. Okay. And that's tab-wise 5, 5, 6, 5. That's A7 as a 4-note shape. And then even though the chart for Dark Eyes, when you look at it, it might say just D minor. Again, now you know in Gypsy Jazz, it's common to treat a minor chord as a minor 6 chord for that extra cool flavor. We already know D minor 6 from playing minor swing on day 1. So this is D minor 6. As a 4-note shape, I'm going to go through the 3-note shape as well, and then you can choose what works best for you. Back to that A7, 4-note shape version here, just like again in Sweet Georgia Brown. And then B flat major 6. On the chart there, it might even just say B flat, but oftentimes when you see a major chord in this style, you're going to play a major 6 chord. So B flat 6. And I'm showing it to you now as a 4-note shape, but again, I'm going to also go through the 3-note shapes in a second if you want to do this with me. G minor 6 is just like D minor 6, and just like A minor 6 from minor swing. So where's G at? 3rd fret on the 6th string. Okay, and then back up to D minor 6. Again, I'm making it pretty easy. Guitar players just love to move shapes around. And then A7. Doing a little tremolo, and then back home, we're in the key of D minor 6. So it's a 16-bar chord sequence. It's a short song, half of what most songs are, and it's just like minor swing. Minor swing was a 16-bar progression as well in the key of A minor, okay? So it's just like minor swing, 16 bars, and you just repeat it over and over. And again, so this is the general rule. I always say map out the bass on the 6th string or the 5th string. 12th fret is getting high up there, but that's okay. You know, it'd be right here, 12, and that would be A7 as a 3-note shape. Say what I showed you all for minor swing. You could even put the 5th in the bass, and then you have this shape. Now you have this, what appears to be E minor 6 as a 3-note shape. It gets kind of crazy and kind of convoluted, like, or ambiguous rather, like, wait, here's A7 as a 3-note shape. But what if I put the 5th in the bass and keep the 6th string root? And now it kind of looks like E minor 6. That's putting E in the bass though, not A, not this, but putting E in the 5th of A. If I'm assuming again that the bass player is going boom, 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 boom. You know, the bass is really playing those roots, and especially in swing style, root, 5th, a lot of root and 5th. In a 2 feel, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, boom, boom. They call it often a broken feel because you'll go boom, 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 a little bit of walking. And you can map it out so that you can play A7 here, D minor 6, okay? Or A7 here as per the worksheet, D minor 6. Isn't that nice? I mean, just 3 notes. It sounds so cool. I think this, A7, D minor 6. And then right here, B flat 6 as a 3-note shape. Okay, that's the first 8 bars. It would sound like this with a little bit of rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. D minor 6. A7. B flat 6. G minor 6. Okay, and yes, this is like the shape to know. You'll really grow to love this shape if it's new for you. And again, I'm just kind of having fun with it. G minor 6, back home to D minor 6, A7, and then finally back home. Right here. I like that. I went to the 12th fret. Maybe you all could try it if you have a cutaway. 12, 11, and then 12. That's an A7 3-note shape. Root 3rd, flat 7. And just do that little arpeggiating like I'm doing here, just so you can really hear it. And then D minor 6. Okay. Look, notice how similar these shapes are. And then, so I'm not using my pinky at all. I'm just using these 3 fingers. And then that's A7, D minor 6, A7, and then B flat 6 as a 3-note shape. Could be this, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go here. And then down to G minor 6. Back to D minor 6. And then that A7, or if you want the 5th in the bass, and then D minor 6. And that's actually how you create some nice bass line movement. You go like this. And it's just mapping out some patterns, connecting one chord to the next, oftentimes with a little scale pattern. I'll show you one other route, which I sent out tonight, and that's what I labeled La Pompe. La Pompe, the French style, where we're gonna do 4-note shapes. And I actually want you to try them all and see what works best for you here. Because I do think this is important to spell chords. So if you said, hey, what's an A7 chord? I would say A, C sharp, E, and G. Those are your 4 notes for A7. The root 3rd, the 5th, and the flat 7. Sounds like this. That's a dominant 7 arpeggio or chord broken up. A, C sharp, E, flat 7 is G. So if we want a flat 9 chord as per the worksheet where it says 4-note shapes, La Pompe style, we're adding in the flat 9. The flat 9 is a half a step higher than the 8, the octave. So here's A to A octave. So check this out. If everyone wants to do this with me, A to A, that would be called an 8, or otherwise known as an octave. But now check it out right here. Flat 9. Ready for this? Ooh, dissonant. Oh, I love that. A7 flat 9 equals this. A, C sharp, E, G, B flat. That's the flat 9, B flat. So here's the trick of that chord. If you're looking at that chord right here, it says 4, 5, 3, 5 in tab there. But and I know this is new. This is for many of you. This is a C sharp diminished 7 chord. While the band or the bass would be playing an A underneath it. Listen to it with the bass. I'm going to wrap my thumb around. pretty awesome. But that's a lot of work to have the thumb on for the bass. And you could just assume again that it's either implied or it's stated by the bass player and the other guitar player. So you could just do this. C sharp diminished 7, okay? It's a nice shape once you get it. So that's our first, for many of you, that's the first substitution that you've learned, at least. When you see a dominant 7th chord, in this case A7, you can go to the 3rd degree, C sharp in this case, and play a diminished 7 chord. An A7 like this, you can say, ooh, I'm gonna try out this diminished 7 chord on the 3rd degree, on C sharp. And then check this out, when you go to D minor 6, we have this inversion of D minor 6. The 6 is in the bass, the B is in the bass. And yes, that has another name, B minor 7 flat 5, aka B half diminished. Again, I'm just showing you a few tricks. A lot of people don't understand why, they just do it because they learn it. But I just want to just share with you really quickly, why. But it's just the same 4 notes as D minor 6, just not starting on D, it's just starting on B. But look at the shape and listen to it. It's very tight and compact sounding. I like it. I'll kind of hit it aggressively here. Just these 4 strings right here. 2, 3, 2, 3. It's just a little bit of a zigzag shape. And that's again called D minor 6. Or some people might say, but isn't B the bass note? It is. So in that case, they might say, then that's B minor 7 flat 5. They're the same chord. So check it out. Now, just combining those 2 chords, listen to what you get. It's really neat. I'm going to do it slow. C sharp dim, B minor 7 flat 5, C sharp dim, and then here's the B flat 6 chord with the inversion. That's with the 5th in the bass, so it'd be 2nd inversion. That's very special about these La Pompe voicings is that I'm only using the 4 inner strings. I think that makes a big deal because it has a very, again, I said it earlier, very tight and compact sound. Very throaty sounding, very mid-range. My thumb's wrapping around just to mute the 6th string. So don't let it fool you. I'm not playing this, even though it sounds pretty cool, but I'm not worrying about getting that A in the bass. I'm just touching the 6th string so it's muted. So again, I'll do it slower. C sharp, and again, on the chart it says A7 flat 9, but what I'm thinking theoretically is C sharp diminished 7. D minor 6. And that's B half dim. Back to C sharp dim. B flat 6 up here. And then G minor 6 is going to be here. Just like you did on the D minor 6, but now you're on the 7th fret. So that can also be called E minor 7 flat 5. E minor 7, it's off the 6th degree. It's an inversion. And then just slide it back down to D minor 6. Which is again B minor 7 flat 5, C sharp dim, and then we're done. D minor 6. Da 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 da. Love it once you get these new shapes down. But yes, I do know it's new for a lot of you. So if you're not ready for that, you might say, hey, I'm just going to stick to those 3-note shapes. Okay, so I just wanted to give you some options because I really do feel like this is a big part of the style. Map out the 6-string bass. A7 up here on the 12th fret. D minor 6. A7 down here. So you can mix and match. B flat 6. G minor 6. D minor 6. A7. If you're wondering, they're all playing Django solo, note for note together. And one more time, 3 note shapes. A7 to B flat 6. G minor 6. D minor 6. And just keep that quarter note full. Nice and strong, A7 and D minor 6. I'm going to now do the La Pump chords I showed you today. B flat 6. E minor 7 flat 5, D minor 6, and B minor 7 flat 5. I was actually watching them play on the recording there. Did you guys try playing long 3-note shapes? I mean, obviously you don't have to go through all of the shapes, but I just wanted to show you, if in case you just were watching me too, especially with those 4-note La Pump. What we're looking for is the economy, the efficiency. Notice this, I'm really pumping those strings. You really have to push down each quarter note. Can you see that? Can you see me pushing down? Because we don't want this. Actually, yeah, maybe you do, that's kind of cool. As a dynamic, interest, but really we want that sharp quarter note staccato pulse, like this. Okay, that ja, 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 with a slight, and I already talked about this on minor swing day 1. It doesn't hurt to review. You could do, that was all quarter notes, short, 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 slight accent on 2 and 4, the backbeat. Or you could do long, short, long, short. I like long, short at a slower tempo. Long, short. So the long, short, you don't lift up after each pulse. You lift up on 2 and you lift up on 4 and you make those really short. And that creates a natural accent. So again, long, short, 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 long, short. Okay, that's really sweet. It's really sweet on ballads when you start to play some nice ballads. You'd be surprised just these little 3-note shapes, how nice it sounds. And then it's just getting this little pumping action, this push, 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 push. But don't worry about speed right now. Just make it solid. Okay, let's get to the melody. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 3, 4, 1. So I pretty much wrote it kind of high up here in this 10th fret position. Why? Because to me this is D minor. That's home. We're in the key of D minor. So I'm kind of thinking all my little licks and stuff can just be extracted from that one position of this D minor on the 10th fret position. Just the basic melody. So it starts on, first thing I had to say is that it starts on beat 2. These are pickup notes. And so it goes, if you're counting off with the band, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. And that's where the band would kick in, right on the first full measure on the B flat note. with the A7 chord. And guess what? That's a flat 9. See, that's a dark flavor we love and associate with Gypsy Jazz. This. If you just want to do this. Against that A7 chord, you go. It's beautiful, that dark, flat 9. Da-dum, da-dum. It's just really dark. It's just, again, the upper neighbor tone. We talked about this with minor swing, where I said try to go half step above. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1. And I'm putting everything just right on the beat. It's very square, just right on in. To the root, the D. Da 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 dum. Okay, that's the root to the root is D to the leading tone, which is actually the third of the A7 chord, and then it goes. Okay, very melodic song, and you see why the lyricism it's just a favorite of Gypsy Jazzers to play. So let's play that much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 4, 1. 4, 1. Okay? And then now we're going into measure 9 here. Those are pickup notes. And every time I say 1, 1 is a rest. And so the pattern is 1. Da, 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 da. Those are all pickup notes, kind of leading you into the next, phrase, beginning of the next phrase. So now we're going up here on the 10th fret, D. There, because that's the third of G minor. I'm playing it as a bar chord here, just so that you can hear the harmony. That's the 11th fret there. Okay, so that, again, the third, beautiful. By the way, the third degree tells you whether the chord is major or minor. Super melodic note to target. So we have this, 1. 1. 1. And that's it. There you go. That's Dark Eyes, the whole melody. 16 bars, very kind of. And I said hit the flat 9. Now you know it's a half step above the root. And you want that really dark Gypsy Jazz flavor, you go. Then if you want a super melodic flavor, you target the third. And then the root, of course, makes it feel more resolved. That's why, again, I'm also saying with these songs, grab a piece of paper and say D minor, D, F, A. Those are your 3 triad notes. You can even go so far as to label the 6th degree, D, F, A, B. Remember this, the 6th degree is always a whole step above the 5th, whether it's major or minor 6. I already demonstrated that with the chord shape. The 6th degree does not change. It's always a whole step. That makes a really great lick that you can always do that fits both chords. That's minor. Major. It doesn't matter. I did the same exact lick. I just resolved it differently. If minor, minor third. Major, major third. But you can still kind of... So again, these are just arpeggios going through with this substitution.